Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to our session of Finance Current Affairs. Could you please confirm that everything is fine with my audio and video so that we can start with the session? Okay, could you please confirm that everything is fine and we can begin with the session? Okay, I believe everything is fine. Let's just continue with our today's session. Okay, so in today's lecture, we have three newses with us. One is IIP December 2025. And then we have IBBI's new international valuation standards. Then we have linking IBC application withdrawal to the COC formation. So these two newses are something related to IBBI and IBC. And this first news is just a release of RBI, right? Let's just see what we have in this. So basically, IIP stands for India's International Investment Position. Okay. So IIP gives a snapshot, or we can say it is the picture of what is our assets at this point of time and what are our liabilities at this point of time. So say this is the data for December 2025. So as of 31st December 2025, how much assets we hold and how much liabilities we have, right? So let's just read about it. So what we are talking about, we are talking about countries, assets and liabilities. So what we include as an asset for the country. So whatever claim, financial claim we have on the world or another foreign countries. तो उनके ऊपर हमारा जितना भी क्लेम रहेगा हमारा जितना उन पर क्लेम रहेगा that will be our assets and how many investment that foreign countries have made in our Indian country, that will be considered as our liability because at some point of time we have to pay that, right? So IIP shows a country's financial claim on the world, that is assets including the foreign investment or gold versus the what world owns in the country, which is our liability. So the net IIP के differences meaning क्या हो सकते हैं? The first is the positive. That means we will call the IIP positive, net positive IIP status when the countries own more abroad than the foreigner own it. तो हम जितना claim कर सकते हैं वो claim ज़्यादा है as compared to what foreigners can claim on us. So we have more assets as compared to our liabilities. So in that case, we have a positive IIP. So just another would be completely different. That is your negative IIP would be something that foreigners own more in the country than you own in abroad. So that is completely fine. So what we want as an economy, yes, obviously a positive IIP is a better situation for us being an economy, right? कौन से type of investment do we include in that? We include direct investment, such as we have invested in abroad or in their country and we have a control over them, right? That control is being held by ourselves, right? So that is a significant influence on the company in terms of we can say our asset. Portfolio investment, when we are investing in their stock, bonds or securities. Financial derivatives, suppose we are investing in risky venues, say in order to manage the risk, right? Again, we have other investments such as we have made investment in say foreign currency. We have kept some reserves with us, right? So reserve assets will be included such as foreign currency, gold, exchange rate payments, maintaining the confidence in the economy. These reserves are being maintained and we can count that towards the IIP position, right? Let's just discuss what is the difference between a IIP and balance of payments, क्योंकि दोनों ही काफी relatable हैं and many of the students feel that they both are same. Let me tell you that BOP tells us the flow of transaction or it records the flow of transaction, while on the other hand IIP just gives us a snapshot. जैसे कि हम बात करते हैं BOP क्या करता है, ये हमें flow बताता है that how transaction have flowed within this particular quarter. But अगर मैं IIP की बात करूँ, that talks about the stock, how much stock do we have in terms of assets and in terms of liability. It is telling us the position at one particular point of time, right? So let's just see the table and we will have more clarity. Definition देखते हैं. It says snapshot of the country's foreign assets and the liabilities at a specific point of time. एक specific point of time पे हमारे पास कितनी assets हैं, कितनी liabilities हैं. We will understand that with the help of IIP. BOP records all the transaction. जितनी भी इकोनॉमिक ट्रांजेक्शन होती हैं, से करंट अकाउंट में आपकी जितनी ट्रांजेक्शन हो रही है, कैपिटल अकाउंट में, और हम कहें फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजेक्शन जितनी भी हो रही हैं, these will be recorded in the BOP, right? Whether it has been taken by the resident or the non-resident over a certain period of time, say quarter. नेचर क्या रहता है, ये स्टॉक कंसेप्ट है, ये बताता है टोटल कितना पड़ा है अब हमारे पास एसेट्स या फिर लायबिलिटी. अगर हम बीओपी की बात करें तो इट इज अ फ्लो कंसेप्ट. दैट मींस हाउ मच ट्रांजैक्शन वी हैव मेड, हाउ मच मनी हैव बीन मूव्ड आउट एंड मूव्ड इन द कंट्री ड्यूरिंग अ पर्टिकुलर पीरियड. इसमें फोकस किस में रहता है, दैट वी आर लुकिंग एट द करंट फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन, व्हाट डू वी हैव एज ऑफ नाउ. ठीक है, ये इस पर फोकस करता है. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट, इट इज रिगार्डिंग द इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी जैसे हमने कितना ट्रेड किया है, कितने एक्सपोर्ट्स गए हैं, कितने इंपोर्ट गए हैं, हाउ मच पेमेंट वी हैव मेड फॉर द फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शन एंड सो फोर्थ. इस तरह से बीओपी काम करते हैं. अपडेट्स द चेंजेस थ्रू द बीओपी. जैसे जैसे बीओपी में चेंजेस होते हैं, दैट इम्पैक्ट इज बीइंग शोन इन द आईआईपी, राइट? सो व्हाटएवर बीओपी हैव बीन टोल्ड अस, कुछ भी अगर बीओपी ने हमें बताया दैट हाउ द मनी हैव बीन फ्लोड, दैट इम्पैक्ट विल बी शोन इन द IIP. So this records the transaction continuously and this is being updated periodically as the BOP is being updated and revalued. Purpose क्या है? To assess the net foreign financial position. हमारी net foreign financial position कितनी है, वो ज्यादा important रहती है. And BOP to track the external trade and the payments that we have to make or we have to receive, right? अब हम बात करते हैं इस डेटा की, दैट इज दिसंबर 2025 पे हमें कितना डेटा दिया हुआ है. आई नो दिस डेटा इज नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट एज ऑफ नाउ, क्योंकि ये अपडेट होता रहता है, राइट? एंड फॉर नाउ वी आर जस्ट गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट वी नीड टू लुक एट द डेटा फ्रॉम द आईआईपी. ठीक है, ताकि जब हम पढ़ेंगे, लेटेस्ट पढ़ेंगे आईआईपी, तो हम सिर्फ डेटा की तरफ देखेंगे एंड वी विल हैव अ गुड कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. ठीक है, तो हमने समझ लिया आईआईपी क्या होता है. वी हैव आल्सो अंडरस्टूड दैट व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ आईआईपी एंड द बीओपी, राइट? तो एक कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी होना बहुत जरूरी है. सो लेट्स जस्ट मूव विद द डेटा. हम डेटा पॉइंट्स जरूर डिस्कस करेंगे इसके. सो व्हाट इज द नेट फॉरेन क्लेम्स ऑन इंडिया? हमारे पास कितने क्लेम हैं of foreigners. So foreigners net investment in India dropped by 10.9 billion and it has currently reached to what, 260.5 billion dollars. तो हम कहेंगे कि हमारा जो liability है it has reduced because foreigners की net investment जितनी भी थी हमारे इंडिया में, that have reduced, right? Asset versus liability. They are saying that India's international assets are now 82% of the liabilities. हमारी जितनी भी एसेट्स थी, दे आर 82.1% ऑफ द टोटल इंटायर लाइबिलिटी. ठीक है, यानी कि हमारी एसेट्स आर गेटिंग बेटर एंड बेटर एज कंपेयर टू आर लाइबिलिटीज. पिछले क्वार्टर इट वाज 81.4%, बट इट हैज इंप्रूव्ड टू 82%. स्लाइट इंप्रूवमेंट है, बट स्टिल इट्स अ इंप्रूवमेंट, सो वी विल काउंट दैट. In the previous year, it was 74.6%. So yes, from the previous year, yes, we have improved and we have improved our assets as well. Indian investment abroad. How much investment we have made in abroad? That means how much money we can claim on our foreign countries. So our outward direct investment क्या होती है? 7.6%, $7.6 billion. That means how much we have invested. FDI is how foreigners direct investment have made in our country. Outward direct investment is just opposite of that. That is how much we have invested. So that is 7.6 billion. And it has been increased. It has been increased by 7.6 billion. So we can say that yeah, our assets have been improved. Our assets have been improved. Investment in currency and deposits. That means it has been rose by $9.4 billion. So investment in currencies, that means हमने जो foreign currency maintain करी है या फिर whatever currency we have deposited with the foreign banks, that have improved. So again, we have a claim on them. We can claim on them anytime. So that is our assets. Reserve assets. That is forex reserve कितने हैं? So it has been fell down by how much? $12.4 billion from the last quarter, but grew 8.2% over the last year. अगर हम last year से compare करें, so yes, our forex reserve have been improved. But if we compare it with the previous quarter, we have seen a fall in the foreign exchange reserve. Right? आगे discuss करते हैं foreign investment in India. फॉरेनर्स ने कितनी इन्वेस्टमेंट करी है इन इंडिया इन टर्म्स ऑफ डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट, इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्टॉक एंड बॉन्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट, दैट इज योर पोर्टफोलियो इन्वेस्टमेंट. तो डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट कितनी करी है? इट हैज बीन फेल बाय 3.2 बिलियन डॉलर्स. व्हाई? बिकॉज ऑफ द side effects of West Asian war-like situation, because that is creating uncertainty among the people and among the investors, and hence we are seeing that side effect in our economy as well, and hence direct investment have been reduced by 3.2 billion dollars and portfolio investment is being fell by 2.8 billion dollars. तो क्योंकि हमारी liabilities कम हुई हैं और हमारी जो assets हैं वो थोड़ी सी increase हुई हैं, so because of that we are seeing a balance between the asset and the liability, total asset and the liability. और शायद एक ऐसा point भी आ सकता है that our liabilities are just equivalent of the assets, so there are high chances that yes we can improve our IIP position as well. आगे देखते हैं शिफ्ट फ्रॉम इक्विटी टू डेट. राइट, इसका क्या मतलब है? दैट फॉरेन डेट इन इंडिया इज नाउ 55.3% ऑफ द टोटल एक्सटर्नल लाइबिलिटी. जब हम अपनी टोटल एक्सटर्नल लाइबिलिटी देखते हैं, वी इंक्लूड मेनी अदर थिंग्स, जैसे कि हम इसमें देखते हैं हमारा फॉरेन डेट कितना है. वी ऑल्सो लुक दैट हाउ मच बोरोइंग द कंपनी हैव टेकन फ्रॉम द फॉरेन इंटरनेशनल कंपनीज. राइट, और इसमें क्या इंक्लूड किया जा सकता है? और जितने भी हमने क्रेडिट लिए हुए हैं फ्रॉम द वी कैन से फॉरेन ब्रोकर्स. राइट, तो फॉरेन डेट की बात करते हैं जिसमें क्या है? डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट और पोर्टफोलियो इन्वेस्टमेंट है. तो दैट इज हाउ मच? 55.3% ऑफ द टोटल एक्सटर्नल लाइबिलिटी. हमारी जितनी भी टोटल एक्सटर्नल लाइबिलिटी है, दैट इज वी कैन से हमारी जितनी भी टोटल एक्सटर्नल लाइबिलिटी है, that is your foreign money that India owes as a debt, right? Now makes up 55.3% of the all external liabilities. तो हमारी एक्सटर्नल लाइबिलिटीज में क्या आती है? डेट लाइबिलिटीज, इक्विटी लाइबिलिटीज एंड अदर लाइबिलिटीज. तो डेट लाइबिलिटीज क्या होगी? वट एवर लोन्स or borrowings you have taken as a company or individual from the foreign countries. Equity liabilities, that is your foreign investment that you have made in some other country as a equity. You have bought their shares or you own the company, right? And other liabilities are that you have deposited some money with the foreign bank or some you have invested your money in some derivatives. So out of this entire external liability, how much is your foreign debt? That is your bond investment or borrowings. So that is only 55.3%. So we can say yes, the situation have been improved. Okay, let's just move to the second news, which is IBBI's new international valuation standards. So IBBI, which is the regulator of IBC, has introduced a new global standard rules for valuing the companies under the bankruptcy. As we know that whenever a company file their case with the IBC, right, what they do that they calculate what? The value of the company, so that in case the company goes into the liquidation, their value is being ascertained and hence the bids will be made accordingly, right? Because the valuation is being considered as a benchmark on which the bids are being made by the investors. Right now, IBBI do not have a standard method in which they are calculating the valuation of the asset, right? So currently the valuation of the assets is being different from each and every different valuer, right? So suppose there is a valuer who is valuing a particular company, say of 120 worth of crores, but there is another valuer who is calculating the worth of that company, say 200 crore. So as the valuer changes, the valuation amount keeps on changing, right? So asset valuation depends, right? So valuation is very important, or we can say a very key metric whenever we are seeking solution or resolution for the company. If valuation is low, the recovery will be low. As the valuation will be high, the recovery will be high. तो बिड्स पे बहुत डायरेक्टली इम्पैक्ट करता है. Hence, अभी IBBI ने क्या किया है, that they have introduced a international valuation standard. इन्होंने एक particular standard allow कर दिया है by each and every, we can say, case wherein the valuation of the company will be valued based on a particular standard. एक standardize होगा, so it doesn't matter who is valuing that particular asset or a company, the valuation will be same. ठीक है, तो ये एक इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड है, यानी कि इंटरनेशनल ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड से अलाइन करता है ये पर्टिकुलर वैल्यूएशन स्टैंडर्ड, एंड हेंस इट हैज बीन adopted by the IBBI regulator as well. So IBBI have introduced what? International valuation standard to be incorporated while resolution of the cases. पहले प्रॉब्लम क्या थी? That the valuation method was inconsistent and was fragmented. Why? Because each and every person have their own valuation method. That was creating a problem. So now the IBBI have a uniform global standard valuation, that is IVS, for the valuation in all insolvency cases under the IBC. Applicable किस पर होगा? All kind of insolvency situation, जैसे कि corporate insolvency resolution processes, which are particularly for the corporate, right? Any liquidation that is happening for the asset or for the company, and personal guarantor bankruptcy cases as well. In case of personal guarantor who has guaranteed something, say a loan, right? In that case, that is going to be applicable for that as well. So agenda is to match the global standard. हमारी global standard match होगी. It is going to be aligned with the global standard, with our domestic standard, and we will ensure that there is a fair and transparent valuation, and we will try to maximize the value of the assets so that we can seek higher return and higher valuation for the asset or for the company. This is also going to increase the confidence of the investor. पहले जो evaluation थी, that was different as per the valuer, right? कौन उसे value कर रहा है, that is the one we can say जिस पे valuation depend करती थी, right? But अब क्योंकि standardize है और everything is being aligned with the global standard, so customers and we can say as investors confidence will improve over the period of time. To find the correct value of failed company, right? अगर failed कोई company हो गई है and it is now going into the liquidation method, so it will induce what? It will increase the we can say the इसकी standardize हो जाएगा, it will be standardized, plus the value will be maximized, the value will be maximized. So a failed company will get a maximized value from which it can be able to repay its creditors in a better way, right? तो इससे creditors का भी confidence बढ़ेगा, company का भी बढ़ेगा और जो investors हैं उनका भी बढ़ेगा, right? So we will be able to find a correct value for the failed company. एक बार IVS के बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं. IVS is a globally recognized framework that establishes the principles and definitions for undertaking the valuation of assets or the liabilities. यहाँ पर assets, liability, businesses की कैसे valuation करनी चाहिए, that will be a framework that is defined under this IVS standards. So these are issued by whom? The International Valuation Standard Council. The first introduction of the framework was 1985, but we have now a latest editions of 2022 of IVS. The scope is that is going to be used, this framework is going to be used in order to get the value of tangible and intangible assets of the business and the financial instruments. Purpose क्या है इसका? To have a global consistency, credibility in the valuation. जितनी भी हमारी valuation है, it has a more credibility because it is being valued under a global standard. Right? कोई doubt हो तो you can ask me in the middle of this. Okay, let's just come to the third news, which is linking IBC application withdrawal to COC formation. अभी problem क्या थी पहले? What was the problem? Problem was whenever a company is filing a case with NCLT that see, I am not able to repay the loan. I am not able to repay the loan to my creditors and I hence declare myself as insolvent. I declare myself as insolvent. Right? फिर NCLT देखती है that yes, this particular application have been received and within 14 days they will decide कि application accept करनी चाहिए हमें कि नहीं करनी चाहिए. Right? They either will accept it or reject it. Right? Once they have accepted the application, right? There was a rule earlier. What was the rule? That company can withdraw their application at any stage of the इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोसेस। जैसे ही आईबीसी के अंडर इट हैज बीन वी कैन से प्रोसेस्ड, resolution process शुरू हो चुका है, the company who has filed their application can withdraw the case at any point of time, that is at any stage of the resolution process. Now this was very problematic for the creditors. Why? Because the committee of creditors have already invested a lot of time and effort in valuing the company. इसके अलावा the company itself has invested so much money in say lawyer in or resolution process. So that was very we can say it was very hurting for the serious creditors whose money was involved, too much money was involved by them into a company. तो अभी क्या किया है आईबीसी ने एक नया आईबीसी अमेंडमेंट बिल 2026 निकाला है, विच इज बिंग पास्ड बाय द पार्लियामेंट। ठीक है, कि अभी पार्लियामेंट ने पास किया, हाउएवर द रूल्स हैव नॉट बीन इम्प्लीमेंटेड येट, अभी इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हुए, बट दे हैव पास्ड दिस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रूल विच सेज दैट विड्रॉल ऑफ आईबीसी एप्लीकेशन इज अलाउड ओनली आफ्टर द सीओसी इज फॉर्म्ड। कमेटी ऑफ क्रेडिटर्स जब फॉर्म हो जाएंगे उसके बाद ही, या फिर उस किससे पहले, फर्स्ट इन्विटेशन ऑफ द रेजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस। ठीक है, तो यहां पर इन्होंने एक टाइमलाइन दे दी है। क्या टाइमलाइन दे दी है? दे हैव गिवन द टाइमलाइन कि आप कब विड्रॉ करवा सकते हैं। ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आप किसी भी स्टेज पे जाके यू आर विड्रॉइंग योर एप्लीकेशन एंड यू आर रिड्यूसिंग द कॉन्फिडेंस ऑफ द क्रेडिटर्स। तो इन्होंने क्या टाइमलाइन दी है? दैट वंस द सीओसी इज बीइंग फॉर्म, सीओसी इज फॉर्म्ड or the first resolution, before the first resolution plan is being offered, इससे प्लान ऑफर करने से पहले या फिर सीओसी फॉर्म होने के बाद, at this point of time only you will be able to withdraw your case. You have only one chance, right? इसमें भी आपको क्या चाहिए? 90% of your COC voting चाहिए, that they all agree that yes they can withdraw the case, right? So इसमें क्या हुआ? COC को empowered किया गया है that without your we can say permission they will not be able to withdraw their case, right? तो यहाँ पर इनको एक लिमिटेड टाइम दिया है, यानी कि जो अनसर्टेनिटी रहती थी थ्रू आउट द रेजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस दैट हैज बीन रिड्यूस्ड। ठीक है, और रेजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस भी से पहले ही आपको विड्रॉ करना पड़ेगा, सो दैट हैज लिमिटेड योर चांसेस टू गेट योर एप्लीकेशन गेट विड्रॉड। Adjudicating authority must pass the withdrawal order within 30 days. अगर एक बारी withdraw application डाल दी गई है, then they have to pass it within 30 days. Within 30 days, they have to give a approval or either reject it. What is the aim? To protect the COC. Creditors को approve करना है। अब तो that is going to be the empowerment for the creditors, and this is also going to save the creditors, right? So earlier applicant for the withdrawal would be filed even before the COC, even before the creditors of committee, right? उनकी कमेटी बनने से पहले ही और वो withdraw कर लेते थे। That was at the time wherein the committee of creditors have put a lot of time and effort in calculating the we can say auditing the company, in calculating the actual worth of the company, और सभी कॉस्ट इंप्लीमेंट हो चुकी है, राइट, एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम। सो दैट वाज वेरी हार्मिंग फॉर द सीरियस बिडर्स। And now the withdrawal application must go through the resolution process which ensures proper procedures. तो अब एक proper procedure है जिसको follow किया जाएगा. It has not been yet implemented, but yes, this will be implemented once the amendment will be finalized. ठीक है, एक बारी हम कॉर्पोरेट इंसॉल्वेंसी रेजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस के बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं। दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। सो CIRP क्या होता है, क्योंकि हमने CIRP के बारे में कहाँ पढ़ा, अपनी फर्स्ट न्यूज IBBI में भी पढ़ा, जिसके बारे में भी टॉक्ड अबाउट CIRP एंड दे आर ऑल्सो टॉकिंग अबाउट द CIRP। सो हम देख लेते हैं। दिस इज कॉर्पोरेट इंसॉल्वेंसी रेजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस। सो दिस इज अ रेजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस दैट इज फॉर द corporate. These are going to be applicable for the companies, for the LLP and for the partnership firm. इसमें वही केसेस आते हैं विच इज हैविंग द मिनिमम वी कैन से डिफॉल्ट और वी कैन से मिनिमम केस ऑफ वर्थ 1 करोड़ और मोर देन दिस। ठीक है, तो ये इसकी दो कंडीशंस रहती हैं। हु कैन इनिशिएट दिस केस? तो CIRP में कौन इनिशिएट कर सकता है? द फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर और द ऑपरेशनल क्रेडिटर और द कंपनी इटसेल्फ। एनीवन कैन फाइल द एप्लीकेशन फॉर द इंसॉल्वेंसी विद द IBC और विद द CIRP। ठीक है, प्रोसेस क्या रहता है? दैट NCLT admits the case, they will apply for the application and within 40 days the NCLT defines that whether this application will be accepted or rejected. After this, a committee of creditors is being formed, and after this, the interim resolution professional is being assigned to manage the company and see that what is the actual worth of the company, and various other things are being managed by this resolution professional. What is the timeline for the resolution? 180 days. It can be extended to next 90 days if the resolution is not being made in this particular time. What is the outcome? Approve a resolution process, या तो फिर एक resolution plan दे देंगे that will be implemented in the company, or they will end up liquidating the company, right? या फिर यही दो हम कह सकते हैं options हो सकते हैं in the CIRP. ठीक है? So this was all about your CIRP in a very shorted way. Okay, what is the question? So these are some questions that you have to do in homework. These are very simple questions. So you can screenshot this, or either you can read it and answer me in the comment section, right? So you can see the second question as well. Why does the IBC amendment link the withdrawal of insolvency applicant to the COC formation? So that is also important. And what is the difference between BOP and IIP? Again, this is very important. So if you are trying to seek any guidance, or you want this particular PDF in order for the revision, so for that you can follow this Telegram group of mine, and you can follow this obviously, and you will get the PDF, and you will get monthly PDF as well in this particular PDF, right? So goodbye everyone, take care of yourself, and I hope this was a fruitful session for all of you. In case you have any doubt, you can tell me in the comment section. I will try to resolve your doubt as soon as possible. Goodbye everyone.